In the woods, we see a small clearing. There's a family sitting by a campfire. There is a young girl and her parents. The girl has dark, raven black hair and is wearing a blue butterfly necklace wrapped around her neck. She was a short and slender girl with brown eyes. Her father was a short man with a beard, while the mother looked frail but had a beautiful smile. The family was eating some canned corn and fruit over the campfire. They had a nice setup with 3 tents and a picnic table. Barbed wire tied to cans lay between the trees for any dead that approached them. The camp clearing was small and had no visible walkers, making it relatively perfect for them. As the family ate their food in silence, the young girl began to play with her necklace, holding it close. "Brenda, stop playing with your necklace and eat," her father says. She listens, letting go of it. Her mother starts to speak. "You were so bored at Niagara Falls, you only cared about getting something from the gift shop." "I remember, and when it broke, I cried for a whole week," the girl says. "You and Dad got me another one to make me feel better," Brenda states. "You were so happy you wouldn't." Suddenly, her father stops speaking. The mother speaks up, asking what it is, but he puts a finger over his mouth, signaling her to be quiet as he begins to hear something. He pulls out his gun as he hears a can in the distance move, but hears no signs of growling. He signals for his wife and daughter to hide. They quickly hide under the picnic table. "Come on now! I hear you," the father shouts. "If you were a roamer, we would have heard you sooner, so don't do anything stupid because I have a gun," he shouts. We see a young girl approaching the family with her hands up. She has visible bruises on her. "Who are you?" the man asks. "My name is Rachel," she states. They sit the girl down and offer her a can of food. "Thank you so much. God bless you," she says, taking it and eating. "You poor thing. You look like you haven't eaten anything in days," the mother says. "Where is your family?" she asks. Rachel remains silent. The father notices her black eye. "Jenny, I don't think she wants to talk about it." "I'm sorry, dear. You don't have to tell us if you're not comfortable with it. I can't imagine what you've been through these last few months." Rachel speaks again. "Thank you," she says quietly. "How old are you?" Brenda asks. 16, she says. "Well, you can spend the night with us. I mean, if you want," Jenny says as her husband nearly interrupts, but keeps quiet. "Are you sure? I don't want to impose." "And your food?" Rachel nervously says. "We have enough," Brenda replies back, making Rachel smile. At nighttime, we see Rachel with new clothes, sleeping next to Brenda. Thank you for lending me your pajamas," she says. "You're welcome. You look cuter in them anyways." Rachel is nervous. "Are you sure I don't look too skinny in them?" she asks. "I'm positive." "Oh, here, I have something for you." Brenda goes through her bag and takes something out of it. "Here. This will help with your eye," she says, squeezing a handful of healing gel into her hand. "Here, just be still," Brenda tries to say, when Rachel pushes back, yelping. "It's okay, I won't hurt you," Brenda says. "Please, let me help you," she begs. "Swear it," Rachel asks. "What?" Brenda asks, confused. "Swear to me that you'll never try and hurt me, no matter what happens. Please," she begs. Brenda lowers her voice. "Rachel, I swear I will never try to hurt you in my life, ever. Okay?" "Okay," Rachel says, giving in, as she slowly puts the healing bruise cream over her eye. After that, we see Rachel hearing Brenda praying, thanking God for the protection of her family and her new friend. Rachel joins her friend. They both finally lay down and smile as Brenda begins to close her eyes, and as she does, Rachel looks uneasy, hearing the nighttime sounds of bugs and frogs in the distance. 22 months later, in present day, walkers growl inside a movie store, their faces horribly decayed and hideous. Several horror movies are seen on the shelves. The walkers turn around, hearing a banging on the door. The walkers turn and growl, trying to go towards the noise. Suddenly, a blade grows through the opening in the door, piercing the walker's head, killing it. More begin to come towards the door. As they exit the door, their heads are sliced off, and they fall dead like flies. A pair of hands grabs one of the walker's corpses and drags it outside. The person continues doing this until the last corpse is dragged out of the DVD store. As the man stands fully up, with medium to long hair. "Be careful, everyone," he says. "Don't worry, we got them all," a girl says, walking past Benjamin. Benjamin rolls his eyes as he starts to clean the blood off of his blade. The guy behind him notices and quickly stops himself from sheathing his bloody blade in its holster and starts to clean it as well. Some more people walk past him, a guy and two girls, Carla and Rachel. Benjamin notices Victor cleaning his blade too, nodding in approval. As Benjamin finishes cleaning his blade, he goes on as his friends go through the movie aisles. He lets out a small smile. Victor speaks up. "All right, everyone, it's movie time," he says. "All right, so what are we getting?" Carla asks. "Whatever we want," Victor replies back. "Really specific, bro," the girl says, looking in the romantic movies section. She picks out a movie, grabbing it. Love Actually. She then looks up, seeing Benjamin, who is busy watching the front door. She stares at him for quite a bit when someone approaches her. "See something you like?" Rachel asks. May frantically drops the movie. "Oh, well, I thought we could try this," she states. Love Actually, starring Andrew Lincoln. "Grab it," Rachel says in approval. She looks over to Benjamin, watching the front door. "Ben, are you sure you don't want to look around?" Rachel asks. "I'm fine. You kids have fun," Benjamin says, smiling back at her. Rachel laughs at his joke. Meanwhile, in the forest, we see a large group of dirty people wearing face paint. A girl goes to one wearing white and black face paint. "We lost 13 in that attack," she says, scared. "Where is the king taking us?" she asks. "North," the man states. "Several miles where he discovered new territory for us to reave. We need everyone for this." We see even more dozens of dirty people carrying axes and machetes. They looked like Vikings, but had rough modern clothing with holes and tears. They walked past one another in the woods, carrying more shovels, bags, and sharpened blades. At Nest, we see John, Ayumi, and Merle killing walkers outside the fences. John uses his bladed prosthetic and kills a walker as he stabs another one in the head. His blade gets stuck in his skull. "What?" "No!" John panics as he is grabbed by two walkers. Ayumi tackles one of the walkers off of John as Merle bites the other one's leg off, dragging bone and cringy blood. Sean fires his gun and kills the walkers as Ayumi hyperventilates and gets tackled by another one. Sean kicks it off of her, and as he growls at him, he fires 2 shots, splattering its head everywhere. John goes over to Ayumi. "Are you okay, Sean?" he asks, concerned. "I'm fine," Sean replies back. "Yeah, I'm good. Just got a little too close to me," Ayumi says, terrified. "You weren't bit, were you?" he asks. "No, I'm just not used to this," she says, embarrassed. Merle licks the blood off of his mouth and moans. "We should get back. Have Hannah take a look at you." "Just to be safe," Sean says. Ayumi speaks up. "Thanks for saving me, Sean." "Merle, I'm glad you guys are okay," she says in gratitude. John looks at his bladed arm. "This thing needs more improvements," he says, when he hears a growling sound. As he looks, he notices a downed walker with a missing leg. "Shut up," he says, bashing it in the head, annoyed. Back at the movie store, Victor walks towards the young girls. "I found some candy by the cash registers," he says, handing one to his sister and Rachel. They both thank him as they take it, with Benjamin watching. As Carla notices him staring, she walks towards Benjamin. She stares at his longer hair and approaches him. She pulls out a movie. Trying to look like him? Carla asks. Benjamin turns and sees a long-haired man on the cover of a movie. Van Helsing, Benjamin smiles. I remember this. I love this movie, he says. Didn't know you were the monster movie fan, Carla says, surprised. I wasn't. This was PG-13, and this movie had, and still has, the best werewolf design I've ever seen. Nothing came close to it, he says, full of enthusiasm. I forgot how much I actually enjoyed movies. My parents gave me a lot of crap, though, when I watched this, he states. Want to watch it tonight? Carla asks. Benjamin smiles, putting it in his bag. Sure, but I don't think Rachel would really be into it, he says. Carla's smile fades a little. Do you still... Well, you know. Before Benjamin could answer her, he hears the others behind him. We're ready, they say, all packed up. As they leave, getting into their cars, Benjamin notices a walker and quickly kills it. He looks into the forest, staring into it. What's wrong? Carla asks, as Benjamin looks, possibly hearing something. He aims his gun. Carla does the same as the crew stop in worry. Benjamin looks around, holding his gun in place. After some time, a walker comes out of the woods. He fires his suppressed gun, quickly killing it. Thought you saw something? Carla asks. Yeah. Guess I'm just nervous. We got a lot of people here with us, Benjamin states. A lot of people? There's 5 of us here, Carla says, getting into the car. Oh, and shotgun is mine, she says. Maybe I'm just looking for something that isn't there, he says. Maybe, but I've learned to never question your amazing instincts, she says truthfully. Elsewhere, far away, Brandon is helping carry boxes around his camp. People are upset. He sees their sad expressions. They lost 6 people today to the Ragers, and Chase was injured. This was a horrible day for them. They were in a dirty trailer park in the middle of the woods. There was lots of space. Their camp had around 100 people. Some were composed of elderly and children. At the camp, people were doing chores. Some were washing food, while others are refilling water jugs or watching their kids. It wasn't ideal, but it was their home. Brandon looked at some of the kids in their camp. Xavier's kids. Eddie and Dina were playing with Legos on a picnic table. They were around 8 years old. They smile and wave at him, showing him what they made. Brandon smiles back. How are you guys? He asks. We're okay, but everyone's sad. Mom and Dad, too, Eddie states. Are those people going to kill us too? Dina asks. Brandon looks shocked at the serious question. No, we're not going to let anyone hurt you, or your brother. I promise. Talia approaches, taking her kids. All alone, Brandon pulls out his wallet and takes out a picture. The picture had 2 happy young men in it, him and Benjamin. They were at an amusement park. Benjamin had a mild smile, and Brandon's was big enough to land a plane on it. Always so serious, Brandon murmurs to himself. Brandon looks sad at the photo, closely looking at Benjamin. They both look differently to the 2-year-old photo. Brandon puts the photo away, back into his wallet, and starts to walk towards a man who is walking with a few others back from somewhere. Hi, Peter. Any luck finding some supplies? He asks. Barely anything. This whole area has been picked clean. It's been 2 years. Not many canned goods left out there, he states. This is bad, Brandon whispers. We lost 1/3 of our food in the raid. This forest area is spent. We have what? Maybe a week of food left? At this rate, it's starting to look like it. We need to come up with something, soon, Peter says. Any news about the guy we took? Did he say anything? Brandon nods. Nothing I heard. Xavier is keeping it really quiet. When Peter shushes him, Peter whispers, "Not so loud. Don't want the kids to hear it." "I'm sorry," Brandon apologizes. "Well, it's only been a couple of hours," Peter states. "We need to get rid of them. If they attack like that again, we're finished," Peter states. "We're too exposed in these woods," Brandon says. "I know. I've been trying to get Xavier to move us somewhere else. But he's not budging. We need to find a community, somewhere we can defend. We might be more noticeable, but at least we won't all die," Brandon states. He stops talking when a woman approaches them. "Honey, the generator stopped working again," she says. "That's the third time this month," Peter says, annoyed. "I'll see you later, Brandon. I gotta go fix it," he says. "Okay, yeah, it's okay. Nice to see you, Sarah," he says, waving. Peter grabs a bunch of tools. "I'll see you later, Brandon. I'll come find you when I'm done." He walks off, leaving Brandon alone. At Nest, Sean and the others come back with Hannah and Tyler waiting by the gate with Andrew and Frank. Tyler watches as they come back, holding his gun. "Good, they're back." As the men open the gate, Hannah hugs both John and Sean. "Did anything happen?" she asks, concerned. "Yeah, our boy held his own," John says proudly. "He did a great job." Tyler approaches Sean as John talks to Hannah about taking Ayumi to the infirmary. "Can I please go with you guys next time?" Tyler begs. "Sure. I mean, as long as it's okay with Rachel," Sean replies back. Tyler loses his smile. "I'm 14, man. I'm older than you. Do we have to ask her?" Tyler asks, disappointed. Sean then notices Rebecca walking by herself and waves to her. She ignores his wave and walks away, confusing the two boys. In the neighborhood, Victor walks up to Rachel and asks her if she wants to come to his house for movie night tonight. Rachel hesitates and turns, noticing Benjamin, who is approached by May. "That sounds fun," she replies to him. "Great, I'll see you tonight," he says, leaving with excitement. Rachel then goes inside her house and opens the door to Rebecca's room. She notices her little sister writing something in the journal before quickly closing it and putting it away. "What are you doing, Rebecca?" she asks. "Nothing," she says coldly. Rachel decides to ignore it. "Well, I'm back. I know everyone told me already," Rebecca replies. "Well, I'm going to Victor's house for movie night tonight. Will you and Tyler be okay while I'm gone? Do you need anything?" Rachel asks sincerely. "No, I'm 14, Rachel. I'm not a baby, so you can stop," Rebecca coldly states. Rachel looks saddened and decides to slowly close her door, giving her sister her space. As she closes the door, Rachel goes into the bathroom. Turning on a sink, she washes her face, looking into the mirror. Suddenly, she flashes back to the night where her brothers died. How destroyed and bloody their bodies were. How terrifying the walkers' faces were, pressing angrily against the glass. How Philip's brains blew onto the car seat, and how scared Rebecca was. She washes her face again. Meanwhile, Benjamin and Carla are walking in the neighborhood. "So I wanted to talk to you," he says. "Oh? What about?" Carla asks, curious. "Our gas situation. It's been 2 years and most of the ethanol in the cars have evaporated. It's why gas is becoming more and more scarce. Without gas, our generators will stop working, and we won't be able to drive around anymore," Benjamin states. "So what are you going to do?" "We can't make gas, can we?" Carla asks. "I had some idea, making synthetic fuel or finding some horses and getting solar panels, but we need more people and resources." "I'll come up with some more ideas," he says. "You always do." "That's why I like you," she says. Benjamin smiles back at her. "Well, I'm gonna go do some exercises, shower, and maybe watch a movie," Benjamin replies. "What? You cut loose?" she asks, surprised. "Benjamin Hunter decided to take a night off. Who are you, and what have you done with my funless friend?" she asks sarcastically. Benjamin decides to make her eat her words. Sean's half your age, and yet he's twice more mature than you, he says. Carla punches him in the shoulder. Didn't your parents ever tell you not to mention a woman's age? And I'm 22, not 26, she defends. It's not my fault you can't recognize me just because my hair is a little longer, he rebuttals. Yes, it's definitely your fault. Trying to grow a mane or something? I know you're an alpha, but this ain't a pride, Carla laughs. Alphas are for wolves, not lions. Oh, forget it, he says, annoyed. Why the heck do I put up with you, he asks. Because you love having me around, Carla replies back, happy. Ayumi walks towards Sean. Hi, Sean. Can I ask you something? She asks, embarrassed. Sure. What is it? He asks back. How come you're not afraid when you go out there? Aren't you afraid of getting bit by a walker? She asks, curious. Well, I just don't think about it, honestly, he says, confusing her. Well, the thought doesn't cross my mind. Fear is not something that comes to my mind when I need to kill a walker, he says. You haven't killed enough to be used to it, I'm guessing. I mean, I've killed about... Actually, I don't know how many I've killed. Like a bunch last year with that herd. You? What herd? She asks. Sean replies, the herd that attacked Rachel and her sister. When Benjamin went to go get them out of the car, they were trapped in. Me and Carla killed the dead to give them a chance to escape, he states. How were you not scared? She asks. Because people I cared about were there. I didn't make room for fear because if I did, I knew they could have died. When people you love are in danger, the thought of fear doesn't cross your mind. Ayumi thanks him for the talk. I just want to be more helpful, she says. You are, Sean says. You're learning medicine from Hannah. That's really important. Yeah, but I want to be more of a fighter instead of a nurse. It's also really complicated. I don't know how Rachel can understand Hannah's lectures, but I don't know if I'm cut out for that. Well, if you need any help, come see me or Benjamin. We'll help you, he says. She thanks Sean and goes somewhere else in the community. Later, Benjamin walks around the community. He notices Frank playing with his daughter Nicole on the grass. He then hears sounds in the pantry and goes to see who it is. Inside the pantry, he smiles, seeing that it's Rachel in the pantry, organizing some supplies, when Benjamin approaches her. Hi, he says. Hi yourself, she replies back. So, I guess we both got plans tonight, he states, rubbing the back of his head. Yeah, Victor invited me to his house to watch a movie, she says. Benjamin swallows hard. Oh, well, I'm happy for you. Carla and May begged me to watch at my house. Wish I had the strength to say no, he says. Well, I hope you have fun. Well, I guess I'll go now. See you later, she says. Wait, Rachel? He asks. She stops and slowly turns around. Yes? She asks. I know it's been a while. I just wanted to ask if you were all right. If there was anything that you wanted to tell me. You know, I'm here for you. Always. Whatever you need, he affirms. I know, Rachel says, smiling back. Hope Hannah is being a good teacher because I could talk to her if you're having trouble, he says. She smiles and starts to leave. Enjoy your movie. As Benjamin watches her leave, he stands there in silence, even though she's gone, looking a little sad. Benjamin goes into his room and looks at some old pictures of his family. One's where he was a kid. One at his graduation, where he was wearing a golden sash around his gown. His parents looked so proud of him. Him and Brandon looked completely different, despite both wearing gowns. Brandon's was more plain. Benjamin then hears a knock. Can I come in? Sean asks. It's open. Sean walks in, apologizing, but Benjamin invites him to come closer. Whoa, I never saw these. Did you go anywhere with your parents before? Sean asks, excited. Yeah, We went out of state a lot to visit the beach in Florida. God, my mom loved the beach. I did too, but she lived for it. My dad hated it. He always got burned. Benjamin laughs. My dad always loved the cabins, cold and hunting on our vacations. So your parents were completely opposite? Sean asks. They were. My dad was loud. He gave good advice, but he would give it 10 times a day so I wouldn't forget it. My mom always wanted me to pick up and try new things. She wanted me to learn how to help like a proper gentleman, Benjamin says nostalgically. Who's that? Sean asks, making Benjamin look. Brandon, my best friend, he says. Since you were a kid? He asked. Yeah, I had this falling out with my cousins, and we met not long after, Benjamin confirms. Is he alive? He asks Benjamin. His smile fades. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked, Sean says. No, it's okay, Sean, Benjamin says, patting Sean on the back. There's nothing wrong with wanting to know. Brandon is... I don't know if he's alive. I was on my phone with him. I called him one night. He was with his family. They were heading into the city when everything fell apart. I lost connection with him. I hope he's okay. Wonder where he is, he asked, curious. Well, you always have me, Sean says, trying to cheer him up. I do, Benjamin says, handing his cell phone to Sean. Want to use this? He asks. Yes, please. Thank you so much, bro, Sean says, happily taking it. All I do is record audio and take pictures on it. The games are yours, Benjamin states. Oh, and here's the charger. Last time you returned the battery was more dead in the walker. He jokes. Thanks again, Sean says, taking it. I wanted to show Tyler too. Okay, have fun, Benjamin says before Sean leaves. Wait, Benjamin, before I go, are you and Rachel still friends? I mean, she's better, right? Benjamin contemplates what he said. I think she just needs more time to get over what happened last year, he states. I know, but you didn't do anything wrong. You did everything you could for her that night. It's all anyone can do, Sean states. I was right about you, Benjamin says. What? Sean asks, curious. You're more mature than Carla, Benjamin says, making him laugh. At dinner, Victor sits with his sister May, his father Jeff, his older brother Jace, and his mother Karen. Victor mentions that he's watching a movie with Rachel tonight, and his parents sound proud. However, Jace tells him to be careful, as he heard from rumors that she and Benjamin had a thing. Victor denies it and says that he's going to do what he can to get her. He says that Rachel is smart, kind, caring, and beautiful. May agrees and says that they found a new home here and they should live their lives. What's asking gonna hurt, she says. You're one to talk, Jay says. Anyways, I'll do some investigating for you, bro, by asking Benjamin for private training lessons. I think I'll have better luck than both of you. May turns to her brother. And why is that? Because I don't think a stud like him is into dudes asking him to hang out. Besides, I have a date tonight, she says. You do? They all ask surprised. Karen speaks up. I'm happy for you, dear. Benjamin is a strong man who can protect you. May can protect herself, Mom. We've seen her fight. She's gotten better since winter, Jay says. I have, but I wouldn't mind Benjamin saving me again, she says. Stop, May, you're drooling. I'm gonna throw up on dinner, Victor says, grossed out. Don't throw up, Victor. I think it's great your sister is interested in someone here. Not many people left in the world anymore, Karen says, as the family continued to talk and enjoy their meal. At night, John and Hannah are watching a movie in their house. As Hannah watches the movie, she notices John sulking as he glances where his hand once was. Hannah takes the remote and pauses the movie. John, are you okay? She asks sincerely. Yeah, he says unconvincingly. I know you're lying, she states. How do you know I'm lying? He asks. Because you're not even looking at me, she states. I'm sorry, sweetie. It's just that I'm trying to get used to living without a hand. I feel so useless now, like I'm old or something, he states. No, you're not old, and you're not any less of a man you wore last year. A hand doesn't prove anything, she says, kissing him on the cheek. We're missing the movie, he states. We can rewatch it later, she says as John starts to give in and kiss her back. In a different house, Victor and Rachel watch a movie on the couch. They are at least halfway through the romance movie when Victor gently puts his hand on Rachel's shoulder. She quickly jumps away in shock like a rabbit, startling Victor. No, don't, please don't, she shouts. She turns to see Victor's shocked face. Oh God, I am so sorry, Victor, she apologizes. Victor stands up, apologizing, saying it's fine. No, it's not fine. I'm sorry I overreacted. Are you okay? He asks. Yeah, I just get nervous when people touch me, she says. I'm sorry, I won't do it again, he says. Thank you. I appreciate it, she says, sitting back down. Can we please finish the movie? She asks. Sure, Victor says, somewhat uncomfortable. Later that night, around midnight, Benjamin walks past her house and looks at the full moon in the sky. With the full moon somewhere else, Brandon and Peter go to the other side of their camp. They see numerous people with guns. Their camp was unrecognizable to them, and there they saw Xavier's brother, Wade. Hello, Wade, Brandon says with a hint of disdain in his voice. Hello, fellas. Want to see our patient? He asks. Patient? Brandon asks in confusion. Did he say anything? Peter asks. Xavier then walks towards the trio. He said a lot, but nothing useful. Is he dead? Peter asks. Come on, let me show you what happened, Xavier says, leading all of them towards a mobile home. As Xavier pulls out some keys, getting ready to open the door, Brandon looks intently at it. It's bolted from the outside. As Xavier swings the door open, Peter and Brandon cover their noses in disgust. Brandon, don't look! Peter shouts, pulling Brandon away from the door. Oh, and can you two please not tell Talia and the kids about this? He says, walking away. I hope it's not too late to tell Eddie and Dina a bedtime story. Inside the mobile home was the painted-faced man from earlier, snarling violently as he walked. His chest was completely hollow, ribs showing, and organs floating in jars, decorating the inside of the mobile home. Multiple jars lay on a large table with bloody tools, wires, and a car battery.